Yeah. We back here, right here. It's the beginning of the week, y'all. You know what we do in the kitchen. We keep it cooking. We don't keep it simmering. We keep it cooking up in here. I'm so glad to see you guys. I am Chef Dennis and my co-host, Lady T. Y'all know what it is, man. How y'all weekend was? How was y'all weekend? I hope y'all had a great weekend. Me and Lady T, we enjoyed ourselves. We was at the family reunion. And listen, I'm not even gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna let her speak for y'all. I'm gonna let her let you know how it was. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, T, how was it?
Okay, there was so much to do. I missed something that I heard was really, really good, which I didn't mention earlier. The Family Feud. Am I saying it right? Is that what y'all played?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. But I was outside with all the rest of the cousins, and it's like the sandbag horseshoe style. I don't know the name of it, but we was playing that. We was out in the grass. We had a great time. It was so much fun to see all of the family that I haven't seen in years, and to be around everybody with all the love and all the beautiful energy. It's like my ancestors were with me. I felt,
Yeah.
I really did. I felt it. And it was so good. It was just like my heart was so filled with joy just to see everybody. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I know this is done every year, but when you haven't been in years, it just means a lot to you, much more. You know what I mean? So it was great.
Definitely.
The food was delicious. Oh, I had to calm my butt down because my plates, they was looking full, piled up, and I was eating it up, boy. I was eating it up. It was delicious. Chef Dennis, he is it, y'all. Ooh, I ain't know until this time. I didn't have his cooking. That was my first time, but yes, he got
I
it.
appreciate it. I appreciate
He
it. I appreciate it. That's
busted.
what I look. I love to do that. I love to have people eat my food and love it. It brings so much joy to me. So that was my my thing about the whole family reunions. The first night when they came in, they was like, "Oh, the food is good." I couldn't even really go out there and talk to them. They came in, they ate, and it's like they had a long road. I mean, a long drive, so they just left early. But I was like, "Listen, as long as they were bellies were full and they was happy, that was the most important thing for me. I was so blessed to even have them to taste on my food and enjoy it. It's truly a blessing, and I'm so grateful that everybody was, you know, love the food and everything. So that was a good thing. So today is something interesting. A lot of people would not like to touch and really talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about this today. Free will.
Today is something interesting.
Do we really have free will? So, Lady T, I mean, we gonna touch on this on all angles. Some people want to say, "Oh no, we don't have free will." So I'm asking you, do we really have free will?
I'll say yes and no. I think
Okay.
I say it's because I'll say yes, we have free will because we're here, we are living this life, and we make our own choices most of the time, right? We get to make our choice of how we want to do whatever it is, if it's good, bad, ugly, beautiful, however life unfolds for everybody, we have a choice. So that's our free will to make the choice of whatever decision we're about to do. Then I say no because your blueprint in your life is already mapped out. God knows exactly what you're going to do. You know what I mean? He knows exactly when you're going to be born, who you're going to be with at whatever days, and when you're going to die. So that's why I say free will is no, because it's already mapped out for your life. So how do you really have free will? If I wanted to live until I'm 120, but my blueprint in my life is supposed to be until I'm in my 80s. I wanted to
Mhm.
be 120, but no, it wasn't meant for me to be at 120. So that's why I say no, because of the fact that we know that God knows everything and He is the ultimate decision maker. And so our Father is going to know exactly how we're going to be. And how is that free will then? That's why I say yes and no. What do you think?
Okay. Based on what you said, right? Do you make yourself happy? Do you make yourself sad? I'm asking you, do you make yourself happy?
Yes, my decisions.
Yeah. Hmm?
When I make my decisions, my free will to make my own decisions. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So you have the ability to make yourself happy or sad,
Right,
right?
right.
God don't have nothing to do with that.
Mm, I get that, but that is like you're saying he doesn't know you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do.
That's why it. All right. So look, we all have a path that we have to walk. Some of our paths are easy to walk through. Some of them are tough. That's all. It depends on your parents, generation, so these things can affect your path, but we all have a path that we have to walk through, right? That's
Right.
laid for us.
Mhm.
So God want us to be happy. He don't want us to be sad, right?
Right.
So you choose your path. God don't say, okay, Tini, Lady T, I want you to walk this path. But you say, I'm gonna walk that path. It's laid for you,
Right.
but you say, you know what? I don't want to take that road. I want to take this road. But the road you're supposed to take, it's laid for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you get in the car and you drive the way you want to drive. You know, see, and that's the thing. That's the thing. See, look, free will. Let's talk about we talk about free will, right? Okay, here's the thing. Free will is only up until when you know right from wrong. You don't have free will when you're a child,
I'll accept that definitely.
right? So
Right.
now because you don't have free will as a child, when you become an adult, guess what? Now you know right from wrong, and you know everything that you decide to do has a consequence, whether it be good or bad, right? So
Right.
it's a chain reaction. So it is a free will because guess what? You have the right to choose what you want to do, what path you want to run. But like I said, the path that you decide to go on, God has it for you. Yeah, he. That's the thing. See, He has it for you. So guess what? You can walk. You can walk on that path, or you don't have to. And if
But
you don't,
do you,
if you choose not to, or here's the thing. Okay, watch. You say yes and no, right?
yes, yes and no.
Okay, there's two doors. It says this is the right door. This is the wrong door. How do you distinguish what is the right door?
The experience of opening the door and finding out. That is how you know. Because only God knows what door is the right door. We don't have that power of knowing before we open the door what's on the other side. So that's why I say when God knows, he knows everything of the path that we're going to take. Our free will is there. He's not going to tell us, oh, you need to do it this way because it's the right direction, just like you said. So you're saying the same thing I said, but it's more like you also have to put in there that there are things that we don't know. We only have to experience it to know if it was the right decision or not. So the experiences are the way of, even if somebody tells you you should do it this way, that does not mean anything for many people. The experience is knowing because you experience the feelings, you experience the emotion, everything that is involved with whatever action you've done that may have been wrong. It's the experience. Everybody needs that because when you experience it, okay, like I cannot relate with people that have had really bad drug, addictions, or have had people that really abuse them, and I cannot give them my perspective to say I understand them truly because I never experienced it. You know what I mean? There are certain situations in life that we don't all go through, but others do go through, and they know right from wrong because of their own experience.
So I'm gonna go off what you just said. You said drugs. So you never had experience with drugs or on any level, right?
No, I'm not saying no drugs. I'm
No,
saying
no, no. I'm not.
I'm saying the addiction, like
Okay.
people are, really strung out on drugs. That's what I'm saying. Like they have to have it. Those that are really losing their life type of thing in their family because of their addiction. That's what I'm really referring to. And because their addiction is so strong that they can't give it up. Even if it's, ruining their life. That's what I mean.
So so you can't get so in other words you can't advise them. You can't give them advice. You saying?
I mean, I can give advice, but I cannot say that I've experienced that. That's what I was saying. My point, what I was bringing about it. I cannot put myself to say I've experienced that. A lot of people don't want to talk to somebody that's never experienced a certain trauma. If you've never experienced certain trauma, why am I talking to you? That's some people. Some people, they don't even care about what a person says, even if it's good for them to hear and maybe take heed on. They don't want to hear it because they're like, you don't even know. You never experienced this. There are a lot of people like that. But that's what I'm referring to.
So in other words, addiction. So you're saying addiction, right?
Right,
So that's what you're saying, addiction, right?
right,
Because you have had no experience of an addiction with drugs.
right.
That you saying that they don't want to hear you.
There are people like that. I've met many people that have, let's say, I can give another example. Somebody who is going through a divorce and talking to a person that's never been married. You know, I mean, I think that when people, or you're talking to, or you're a female, you're a married woman, and you're talking to your single girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? That there's a contrast in the it's not being equal to what that other person's going through, or because they've never experienced, that friend has never experienced it.
Okay, I can agree to some extent because if you don't have no children, if a person don't have any children, they can't teach you or tell you about how to be a parent.
Right.
So are you talking about that? You
Yeah.
can't you can't give you really can't give that type of advice. You be like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I'm like, what you mean? What
Yeah.
do you mean I shouldn't do that because you don't have no kids, right? So you
Yeah.
talking about like that?
Yeah, and I've heard that plenty of times about people. But yeah, that type of situation, it could be anything. But yes, it is that. It is that saying that you've never done what I'm going through or gone through what I'm going through. So why should I listen to you? There are a lot
I
of people. You
mean,
never met people like that?
yeah, but guess what? But they don't want so in the process of healing or in the process of getting better, you know, on the circumstances, there are certain circumstances that you really gotta. Some people might not even experience that, and they'll be able to advise you because you got to think about it. Some people can be used by God,
Oh yeah,
so and they never experienced that.
right.
You know, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you said it like you said about divorce. You, if you've never been married, right? How can you even begin to sit there and have a conversation with somebody about your marriage when they never been married? They're
I
in a
mean,
relationship.
I know people are able to do it because I know people that are not married or don't have children, or those type of situations, but they give good advice that is like sound advice that makes sense. You know what I mean? That could be helpful. But my point was is that people do not listen to those that don't all have that experience. A lot of people. I'm not saying myself, but that's what I've heard plenty of times. Yeah, I'm. Mm-mm. I mean, look. Okay, let me give it like this. I listen. I listen to people. Now, don't get me wrong. I have told a friend or two, you ain't even got. So I have come off to those one of friend two. So don't come at me if you hear me talking. I said something about it.
So, in other words, you listen, right? It goes in one ear and goes out the other,
Well,
basically.
I mean, it's sometimes. I mean, I can listen and take heed to it. That's I definitely, if it's good sound advice, I listen to it and actually do the action. But if I don't think it's sound advice for the situation, I will not. No, especially because I'm the one experiencing this. You know, everybody experiences life differently. And who are we to walk in their shoes? Nobody can walk in somebody else's shoes. You cannot carry their cross. You cannot bear their cross. That is theirs to bear.
Mm,
So I let it be. That's all.
okay. Okay. So in other words, I guess. So in other words, you say yes and no. I mean, but you really gotta, you can't. It's like straddling the fence. You can't straddle the fence. Which one is it? It's yes or no?
I mean, it's all about my experience, what I'm going through. If
I'm
it's
talking about your free will. Is it
free
you
will,
do that? Huh?
you make the decision, right? You make the decision. But that's what I mean. The straddle in the fence is because we don't know what our life is going to be in the future. That's why I say that. So I could sit up here and tell you my free will, I'm going to have the will to go out and drive to a destination. But my free will is that I don't get into a car accident, you know, right? That's
That's
my
it.
free will, right? That's my free will to say I don't want a car accident because my free will is saying
No,
my will is to not get into, right? Everybody can will something. A will is like to make the decision, right? I choose not to get into a car accident. You get what
no,
I'm
you don't. But you don't look. You don't. That I don't think choosing a car accident is. uh that's a good example.
No, I didn't finish it. So, but my free will is to not go and get in my car and get into a car accident. But because there is a higher power who knows everything, that free will is out the window if I get into a car accident because it was meant for me. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're going to get into. You never
No, that
really.
I don't. I'm because and now I'm saying to you that is not a good example because
Okay, no
you
problem.
talk. Don't try to ease your little self on out of some no problem. I'm gonna
You can be
explain why.
my examples are terrible
No,
sometimes.
the
Get it.
reason why I'm saying to you why that's not a good example is because I've been to several car accidents that was not my fault. I got T-bone. Girl was riding. Look, she was driving, texting. She ran the stop sign, went around the bus, boom, hit me. I was in the right. I did the right thing, right? Boom. Okay,
But
I
that
was
was
going.
not your will, was it? It was
Huh?
not your will to get
It,
into a car accident.
so that's what I'm saying. So look, it when you say will, it's like I'm driving correctly. You understand what I'm saying? I'm driving correctly. Someone hits me without me without I ain't gonna say pay attention, without me seeing. It was too late. The person they had already ran. Boom. I was already in the intersection. See what I'm saying? Watch this. Hold on. But it's backstories to it. Now watch this. My daughter was in the car, right? She didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt. But watch this. In the process of that, right? I did not have no insurance. I was trying to go to the bank, get the money so I could pay for the insurance. Boom. What happened? My car got into the accident, no insurance. They took the car. Guess what? The car was impounded. It stayed there. I let them keep it. It was my car. I was like, forget it, right?
Mhm.
That's one. Oh, shit. Got into another one. Going to work. Got a brand new car. Brand new car, right? Driving, off duty cop. Bang! Hits me. He
Mm,
drunk.
wow.
I, I walk away. No injuries, no nothing. On scene police officer was like, okay, the guy who hit me, right? Showed his badge. He left. He not supposed to leave the scene. He left. He said, we'll send you the information. You could go pick up the information from police precinct. You see what I'm saying? So that's not that's out of my control. But guess what? He walks away. I'm getting ready to sue. He tried to sue me. Boom. Brand new car. Only had it for 2 weeks. Made No, I'm sorry. I said 2 weeks. 2 months. Car totaled. See what I'm saying? So you say free will, that don't have nothing to do with. That's why I said that's a bad example because guess what? I was driving the way I was supposed to, but a person decides to get behind the wheel drunk and bang hit me. You see what I'm
How
saying?
can how can you say that's a bad example? That was not your will to get into a car accident.
So I didn't look. I had no choice in that.
I
So
know.
right. So that's what that's called. That's called destiny. It was
Oh,
destiny.
wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Doesn't God know everything that's going to happen in your life? Do you agree to that or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So you call it destiny,
Yes.
but destiny is a word that's real nice and pleasant. But who is the one that brings everything in life? Who is it? Is it destiny? Because I only serve one God, and I think you serve one God too.
Yeah. That no destiny is some. There were certain things
It's just
that's
a good word.
yeah. But there's things that will happen to your life, and you will be able to come out of it so you can live. It's like a living testimony. You know what I'm saying? Each one of those. And I say, now I didn't say there was the other one that happened. I'm gonna get to that. But look, each one had an impact on my life. Not a bad, a great impact. You know what I'm saying? It opened up my understanding. Yeah, it's a tragedy that I walked away from. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I learned the lesson. You know what I'm saying? It was trauma because guess what? At the end of the day, watch out when that happened, um, with the cop, right? I was scared to run. I was scared. You know how some people, all drivers do this. Now, I won't say all drivers. Most drivers do this. When the light is yellow, they shoot through the light, try to make it right, and the other light, you don't even know. The other light could be green already, but you think, and by the time you in the middle of that light, the light turns red. You know what I'm saying? Now the other light goes. So, like I said, I stopped doing that now. If I say the light is yellow, I'm stopping. I'm not going. You see what I'm saying? I lived through that, but it could have turned out to be another way. You understand what I'm saying, T?
I understand you, but you are still really not acknowledging the fact that God knew. God knew what was going to happen. He knew exactly the
I'm
time, who, and when the intersection of you two coming together and all the different accidents, car accidents that you had. That's my point.
all
That's
right.
what like. That's
So
why.
so
That's why I'm saying it is like you are living your life saying you have free will, and God is saying, "But I know what you're gonna go through." Okay,
we,
that's all I'm
I,
saying.
what I go through, right, doesn't have anything to do with some of my decision making. You know what I'm saying? Those didn't have anything to do with my decision making. Yeah, you got to remember, I'm different. So I'm called to do something different for God. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing. Your experience is going to be totally different than mine because of the calling on your life that God has for you. So see, things like that, made me maybe stronger. I give it. So let me tell you about the other story. Right, I fell asleep behind the wheel. Right, and prior to me falling asleep behind the wheel, I got into an argument with my father. Right, I was like, he asked me, I got a brand new car. He's like, "Yo, can I use your car?" And I was like, "Nah, Dad, you can't use my car. I just got it. It's brand new." Blah blah blah. Right, so he got insulted, got mad. Right, now check this out. I might have. This is when I wasn't the person I am today. So I might have said it to him a little harsh, may hurt his feelings and whatever. Right. So boom, I go drop off my kids, my wife, drop her off, and now at that time I was working two jobs, right? Two jobs, working at the hotel and chefing it up. Boom, I dropped them off. I'm driving down the road. I'm like 5 minutes away from my house. I fall asleep behind the wheel. Boom, run into a dumpster.
Hmm.
Yo, I wake up, I can't breathe. And I just put my hands on my chest and I just called on Jesus 5 times. And I lift my other finger. I was able to, I was able to breathe. You know what I'm saying? But the first person I called, was my father. He came running, dropped what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? So it was an experience that I went through to to teach me how It's crazy. Some people like, ah, that was crazy, but it taught me a lot though. In the moment, that moment, I was thinking like, man, I talked to my dad like this. Look, he came running, right? Stopped what he was doing, came running, got me to the hospital. You know, and I realized that it's not what I said, it's how I said it. You know, and I'm only thing that happened to me was a scar on my knee. I got a little gash in my on my knee. I'm still able to walk. I'm still able to use my limbs. So that's what I mean by that. Don't have nothing to do with free will. I was working two jobs, fell asleep behind the wheel, and I damaged some other people's car. And guess what? I didn't have to pay for none of that. I could one per the now watch this. Now in the midst of all of that, one of the guys' cars that I hit while I fell asleep. So I jacked up two cars. Guess what? He was a high school friend. Well, high school uh a high school peer. And he found out that I fell asleep. He said, D, you okay? He said, yo, don't even worry about it. Now I messed this car up. Like I said, another person was like, they just make sure that I was okay in the midst. See, so in the midst of all that, yeah, I fell asleep behind the wheel or damaged some other cars. These people didn't come after me. They was like, long as he okay, you know. They found out the story, what happened, and boom. So that wasn't part of my free will. It was out of my control because I fell asleep behind the wheel.
But you were tired. You knew you were
Exactly.
tired. You knew
Right.
you were tired.
And I'm
So,
5 minutes away from my house. So I'm
but
like,
you
I'll make it.
still
I'll
made
make
a
it.
choice. That's my point. That was your
Made a
free
choice.
will. You
Made
made
a
the
choice
choice
what?
to get behind the wheel and drive.
I
That's
had
you had free will. That was your choice. That
right
was
to
your
get them.
choice. Right.
Look, that was my choice to get
Right.
them to work and school on time. So I got there. Boom. I had to do it. It was only one car at the time. Two. It was only one car, so I had to do that. They had to be somebody had to do it. So it was me because I was going home to sleep. So yeah, that wasn't a bad choice. It was part of life. It was part of something I had to do as a man, as a father. I had to take them to school and work. So I did. I was doing my responsible duties. I was
Do
being
you think
responsible.
you could have slept in your car for like 10, 15 minutes before you drove home? You
I
think about that?
No, but look, T, that's the thing. See, it was an experience that I went through. Right now, I'm like this. I, I'm 47 now, so guess what? I do not drive when I'm tired. If I'm tired, guess what? I'm not getting in the car. So I get my proper sleep. Everybody know me. They say, "Oh, he going to sleep." I go to sleep. I get up. Guess what? When I'm riding, everybody else is asleep in the car. See what I'm saying? That was one time, and then I realized, and then God was using other people to tell me, look, you make too much money at your current job. You don't need to work two jobs. I stopped working two jobs a long time ago. See what I'm saying? Because it wasn't feasible for me to work two jobs. It would have burnt me out and burnt me out. Then I would start looking old and I've been burnt out. And then, that would have happened again. So I don't see. So my experience, guess what? I don't do that no more. When I'm driving, like when we go down in North Carolina, we take long drives. I leave. I don't care where. When I even come down to visit y'all, you guys, I leave 3 o'clock in the morning all the time. I don't leave 6 o'clock. I don't leave 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Why? Because that's the time that I wake up every day and I'm wide awake. So I could take it down. I can go all the way down the south. I can go all the way to Texas. I could drive. But when it's time, when they get around that time, when they get around 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that's my shut off. That's it. I'm gone. You see what I'm saying? But so when you say those are the choices that I made, I started making wiser decisions because of those experience, because of what I've been through. And guess what? It was a lot of turmoil going on in that time of those accidents too. There was a lot going on. I was going through a divorce. I wasn't being. I'm not saying all those things happened, but in the process of me going through a divorce, right, there was other things that was going on. So God was like, all right, I'm gonna take you through, but you can't be doing this. Like I said, some people probably would understand it because they don't understand that I had a different calling on my life. The things that I do or choose to do, other people look up to me. Other people look at me and say, "Whoa, you know what? I want to be like Uncle Ray. I want to be like my uncle." You know what I'm saying? Or my friends, coworkers, all that. So my whole perspective on life changed. So I had to, and I say open heartedly and truthfully that my decision making to serve God was solely is my choice. Not it wasn't because of the things I've been through in life. I chose that. Nah, it wasn't that. It was the relationship that I had. It was the relationship that I built, and it brought joy to me. You know what I'm saying? It brought excitement to me. Just like anything else in life, when you're excited about something, it's like you want to tell the world, you want to tell everybody, or the people you that's in your circle. So everybody have a different uh, insight about it, but the topic is free will. Do you have free will? Lady Miles asked, "What's the topic?" And I said, "Free will." So Lady T says, "Yeah and nay." I say straight, "Yes, you do. You have."
Okay. You gave the example of
Okay.
you
Yeah.
having the car accident because you fell asleep and now you don't drive anymore. And that was the example I was trying to say earlier about how people have to experience something to know the better decision to make for their future, for their lives. And you gave that example because you changed. You said, no more of this. I went through such a horrible accident because I fell asleep that I will never do it again. You made that decision, and that's how people learn. That was what I was trying to say earlier. People learn through their experiences. And so, even when their free will is might be something they think is not good, but it's really not good, they have to experience something that will make them remember that they should not do it again. So that's how it is. But free will, when I was saying earlier about God knows exactly what you're gonna, do before you do, he knew you were gonna fall asleep because you made that choice. It's just like that. You have to give that all knowing to God. And no, the all knowing is like you basically being humble enough to say, I don't know nothing what my next day is going to be, what my next hour or my next second is going to be. You have free will, but we don't know nothing. We don't know how our lives are going to act out in the next days, weeks. We don't know anything. So that's why I say the free will is not truly free will because we don't know our whole, life path. God does. He knows everything. The Heavenly Father knows exactly if we make certain decisions, He knows what we're going to go down, that path that we're going to go down. That's why I say free will is there. We do have it, but we don't really have it because He already knows the choices that we're going to make. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So see, so hold on. So check this out. Something look, something that just let's dissect the word free. What does free mean? Just let's whatever when someone said to you free, what's the first thing that come to your mind? Free.
You're not in bondage.
That's see, look how you interpret it. You said you're not in bondage.
You are able to make your own decision. Bondage means you are not able to make your own decision.
Okay, now they say, Lady T, we we're having a function, and all the juices and sodas, all the beverages are free. That's not bondage, but that's how you looked at it. I said, what's the first thing that came to you is
Free.
bondage. See how
Okay.
you think. See how you thought about it.
Okay, you're basically saying you're saying it differently now. We're talking about free will,
No,
but
no,
now
no. I said no, no.
we're
T.
saying
I
as
said,
giving something free, and
but
that's different from this topic. So that's why I'm thinking about our free will thing.
but look, what's the first thing that come to your mind? Look, that's to come to your mind though. It's not. It's not. We talk
No,
about free will. Free
that's one definition of what this topic is about. That's what I was saying about free will, our will. And so not giving something free, not by giving something free. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about free will, our choice, our choice to make a decision. That's
All
what
right.
free will is.
So one is will, one is free. what does free mean?
Okay, so you're saying it's given to you. That's what you're referring as.
I'm,
Like
but I'm
Jesus
just
paid
no,
for our sins, right? Is that what you mean, type of
no,
thing?
no. I
It
said
was given freely, type of thing.
I'm talking about the word free. Let's talk. I said we're gonna dissect it real quick. I said the word free. What does it mean? Look at the definition if you want.
Okay, yeah,
Look
because
what it.
let's look at the
There
definition
there you
because
go.
we're going
Yep.
everywhere. It says
Hold
not
on. Let's go.
costing
Yeah.
or
Let's go.
charging
Free
anything.
will. Now we not free will. That's
You hear me?
say that again.
It's
Yeah.
not
Say that again.
not costing or charging anything. That's the first.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want the second?
Is
Having
there
the
is there?
legal or
Yeah.
political rights of a citizen, enjoying civil or political liberty. Let's go to the number three. Not determined by anything beyond its own nature or being, choosing or capable of choosing for itself. Okay.
Now, now have you now that you have now that you have the definition of free, now you put free with will. Now let's look up will. Let's look up the word will. That has some multiple, but it's important that you see it because I think you got to see it so you can understand it better. So let's look up the word will, not the name will as a person. We're looking up the word will. Now we already have the definition of free. Now let's put free as now to a side right now, and let's look up the word will.
Okay. Now this word, I'm going to mess it up. Used to express futurity. I'm saying it wrong. Futurity. Okay. It says used to express desire, choice, willingness, consent, or negative constructions, refusal. Number three, used to express a command or injunction. There's a
Is
lot
that
more.
no? Those are two definitions.
That was three definitions. But let me look at this word that I spelled because that one.
But now, as you look that word up, T. Now, when you put those two together,
Time to come. Okay, I'm gonna let this say it so that we can hear it. Futurity. I'm gonna say it and let it listen.
Futurity.
Futurity.
okay,
Futurity.
Yeah.
futurity.
Yes, it's used to express futurity. And when I looked up futurity, the definition says time to come, future, the quality or state of being future. So, free will, what it's saying is you have the choice of your future.
Thank you. There is no yes and no. You have
No. Yes, it is for me because
how?
that's why my point was because God knows everything. That's why I'm like, if I believe what the Bible says, it says God knows everything about us, knows all the numbers of our hair, like strands, everything about us, right? And so if God knows everything, then God knows when I'm gonna leave this earth and what I'm gonna
But
do the next seconds.
so that's the pleasure of it right there, T. Listen, it just came to me like a breath of fresh air. T, watch this. T, as you grow up, right? You get ready to get out of high school, right? And you say, you know what? I want to be a doctor. But that's not what you meant to be. You choose that you want to be a doctor for whatever purpose, whatever reason. You say, I want to be a doctor. But God says, I have something for you. And you know what it is? I I want you to be a teacher.
So is that exactly what I'm saying?
T, no, but I'm saying, look, God said He wants you to be a teacher, but
Right.
you say, hold up, you say I want to be a doctor.
Mhm.
Guess what? It in that process, you choosing not to be a teacher, you saying I want to be a doctor. But God said, this is what I got for you. It's something that's going to be graded. Some people look at jobs and say, "This is what I want. I want to make all this money." But guess what? Do you have the right mindset? Right mindset to deal with all of that money?
But is
You
that what?
but you can choose. You can choose your career, but and that's the point. You can choose your career, but in the process of you choosing the wrong career, guess what? God said you could do. Oh, that's what you want to be. Okay, now guess what? Everything that God has for you, you're not going to get it because guess what? That's not what He had for you. You chose something else. Guess what? You don't know. I don't know what comes with that job that you chose. You understand me?
Right.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
So it's solely your choice. Some people want to look. Some people want to be rich. Some people want to be wealthy. Yeah, some people look at me and say, "D, you got all of them. You making good money." But guess what? For me, I walked into what I was supposed to do. I love it, and it was hard. It was a task. It was struggling. I did everything I was supposed to do. Guess what? I'm in the field that I'm supposed to be in. I have not only I'm in the field, and it's not even about me, but I'm talking about guess what? There were things I could have done, right? I could have been a teacher, but that wasn't something that God really wanted me to do. I can teach
So
about food.
will? Where is the free will? You basically started with your example about you wanted to be a doctor. God said you were supposed to be a teacher, right?
Right.
So where's
But you still pursue being a doctor.
hmm and you become a doctor? Is
Huh?
that what you're saying? They become a doctor?
Yeah.
All right, so they made their free will. They made their
And
choice.
they made a choice. And guess what? But now in making that choice, there's other things that come with that choice that you decide to make. That's long suffering, that's pain, that's agony, all of those things. I can't say what it is, but guess what? When you walk outside of God's will, when you walk outside of what God had for you, there's things that come with it. There's things that come with that responsibility. We
So
don't
I want us to stick with this because you had me look up the definition of free, okay?
Mhm.
And then will, and I want you to put it together now because it don't make sense now.
Choice.
Yes, that's the choice. But what the first definition that you talked about with free was, giving something without a cost. That's what,
That-
no cost, no charge. But that's not the same thing of free will of what we're talking about.
well,
Free
you
will is to decide on a choice, not have something given to you for free.
so see, God doesn't say, "Oh, Lady T, if you don't do this, I'm not going to give you this." See? He
Right.
said that he has something for your life, right? And he says, "Well, if you don't," he don't say, "Well, if you don't want to do what I tell you to do for your life, this is going to happen to you." He no, he does he do he don't do that, right?
Right.
Okay, so guess what? But he does tell you now there are things you can do to become a better person, better in your field that you're supposed to. And these are the things that you're going to get. Versus you saying, "You know what? I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that." He don't say, "Oh, well, you're not going to do it." Okay. Well, if you don't do it, this is going to happen to you. He doesn't give you that ultimatum.
Okay, but what about the free part? Because I
I,
still want to understand. You basically gave the example of getting something at no cost. Are you trying to say something about that part, or are we going to ignore that because it has nothing really to do about the free will we're talking about?
we looked up the word free, right? It's choosing with no cost, making the decision.
Nope, it didn't say that.
What? Huh?
No, you're adding words that didn't say
Oh, what you mean? Yes, it did say
it
that.
didn't say that. Let me read it again.
Yeah.
It's not costing or charging anything.
Yeah, nothing. You
Yeah.
so
So,
yeah,
and
free.
So what with not being charged or having a cost with it, why are you saying that the decision has no cost? Like our decisions have costs. Every decision we make has a cost, just like you said. You're giving an example of if
T,
you
I
let me just say,
so
you gave the example about if you want to, be a doctor, and God says, you want to be a teacher, and then you're like, you do everything to become a doctor, and you said, but there's going to be struggle, there's going to be, pain, there's going to be, a lot of suffering, you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. That's the cost, right? So that's not free. That would, the cost of not costing. That's why I want you to put that little definition to the side. That's why I'm like, when we say free will, it is like we have the ability to make a decision.
T,
That is what we're saying. That is that
So-
it is, and the cost is going to be on us because there's going to be a cost. Everything has a reaction, right? You agree? Our actions have a reaction.
right.
There's going to be a cost. There's going to be something.
T, you know how to swim?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So you know how to float in the water, basically. So
Yeah.
you know how to do the doggy paddle, okay? Now, if you don't know how to swim, you ain't jumping in the water.
Right.
Jump in the water, see what happens. You could choose to jump in the water, say, man, I don't believe in all that. Jump in the water. See what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna drown. You're not gonna be it because you don't know how to swim. So you drowning.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Hey, don't listen to me. Don't listen to him. He said you can jump in the water. You can float. So what happened? You choosing not to jump in the water. Everybody in the water. I don't know how to swim, but I'm gonna jump in the water anyway. I'm gonna learn from my experience. Don't worry. I'll experience jumping in the water, and I don't know how to swim.
You just saying things sometimes.
I'm talking about
you're talking about my bad examples. You get bad examples too. Like,
we talk about free will. You know, huh?
They make a choice knowing that they should not, be going in the water if they can't swim. That was their choice.
And they still do it.
Oh, they still do it. That's right.
Exactly. They got the choice. It's not so that listen. If you jump in that water and you don't know how to swim, guess what? You're going to drown. They still do it. That's what I'm talking about. Free. You can do whatever you want to do.
And that's not necessarily true. They might know how to float. They might know how to float.
No, they're gonna listen. They can float their little monkey butt and they're gonna drown. That's what they're gonna do because they're gonna start getting cramps. They're using muscles they never used before. They're going to drown.
Floating is floating. You just float. You don't use a lot of muscle.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. You jump out in the ocean and see what happens. You don't know how to swim. You're gonna be like this. But that's what's gonna happen. But I'm just so. I mean, I'm shocked that you're saying yes and no because
God knows everything. God knows exactly. Yeah, He knows exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do everything. So if He knows everything, how are we actually having free will? That is a good, God knows everything.
look,
So when I hear it, I'm like, but God knows everything. That's the sin. Choices, evil, right, wrong. That's sin.
Wait. So if you want to dissect, listen. Look, if you want to dissect where sin is, where is sin if we're saying what I'm true, right? Okay. Guess what? Now, disobedience is a sin. That we all have that. We all content. Huh?
Here we go with the sins. Right and wrong, there's consequences. There is a cost for everything.
Now you gotta hit the latch. Hit the latch. The other side. Pull it down. Other side. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look, when you look right, that's part of a human nature. That's a human nature. So you said what about sin, right? That's a human nature. That's everybody across the board. Everybody has the ability to be disobedient. So God tell you not to do something, you do it on your own. You being disobedient.
Yeah, I think that we are always talking about a different type of God. The God that y'all talk about a lot is like the God of darkness to me. It's like the God of light does not tell you to do this and this and this all the time. So I don't know why sometimes we have conversations about the Bible, or about
Who said anything? Who said anything about the Bible?
sin. He brought up
Huh?
sin, and then you went deeper into it.
No, but I'm saying that's so everybody know that. That's not you only got to know be anything about the Bible. Everybody know that. Everybody is
Everybody know
disobedient.
what
Everybody
exactly.
that you're gonna be disobedient. It's a part of human nature. Somebody tell you not to do something and you go do it anyway. They look, don't touch that pie, and you go, well, let me get a piece of this pie. You do it anyway. You know you ain't supposed to do that. You do it
How
anyway.
can there be disobedience with free will? How can there be disobedience with free will? Because I think that disobedience is going to be judged by the other person. That's the disobedience. Disobedience is somebody else saying you shouldn't do this or you should do that. That's the disobedience. So if we know what disobedience and we really look it up and what that means, that's basically saying God said don't do that. I said don't do that. You shouldn't do that. And then they do it. And that's disobedience.
Wow.
So with free will is when you are able to make your own choices. Ain't nobody telling you what to do. Don't nobody have an opinion. Nobody gonna sit up here and say I told you so. Nothing.
So Mr. Davis came in late. So here's the thing. So being that he came in late, I'm gonna jump right on that, right? So watch this. Here's the thing. Guess what? You say disobedient. Now, God says not to have sex before marriage.
Oh Lord, when did God say that? Where is this
Wow.
God that you be talking about? Like,
okay. So hold on. Before you jump in, right? God says, look, don't have sex before marriage, right? Now, you do that, you have children, right? With the wrong woman.
Oh,
a woman that you should not be having. But so you have children with this woman you're not supposed to have children with. You have them though, right? Now you got to go through everything that you should not be going through, but you go through it. Now, so I'm gonna ask you this, T, and then I'm gonna let you get it. So you saying to me that God is in the business of making you sad, or he is in the business of allowing you to be happy, wanting you to be happy? Which one is he in? Is he in the business?
I think that we always talk about a different type of God. So that's what I'll say. Number one, you and I are on a different type of God level. You always talk about the law, and I love following Jesus. He fulfilled the law. And so I'm redeemed from the law. You talk about a lot of law stuff from the Old Testament that I've been redeemed from. And I know that because Jesus told me. That all that stuff that we've learned from the Old Testament is like the God that's not the real God. God is not of darkness and death and destruction. He did not come to kill, steal, and destroy. But Satan comes and he will pretend to be a God. And if you know the Bible, you know that there are I think there's two different gods in the Bible that are referred to. There's Lord, Elohim, and Yahweh. What we hear, we don't know if we're being deceived, but God does not kill, steal, and destroy. What God told Moses to do, when it comes to the law, what it was written, it came in darkness. That is not God. God comes in light. God comes in light. How we're not talking on the same level. I hear you, I do, and I respect it. But when I hear you, I have to disagree. Because guess what? Every human being is supposed to be here. And that woman that a man married or got to lay down and had children with is supposed to be that person in this life, to be here in this life. There is no error in people. There is no wrong person. We are not to condemn people because they were born in the unmarried, life, or, they were not with a certain person. That's not love.
All right,
That's me, God.
so T. All right, so being that you said all that, right? So what is what is this? Look, check this out. Why do society, right, as a human race, right, it's better for a two-parent home versus a one-parent home? I keep it. You got to keep it funky. Keep it funky and keep it real.
It's all
A
about
person that has two parents versus one parent, right? Is it better to have two parents versus one in the home? I ain't talking about the separate in the home. It's
okay, but look,
no. Answer the question, yes or
I'm
no.
definitely gonna answer. Give me a moment now.
Okay, yeah, because I want to hear
Look,
this.
everybody knows it's good to have male, female, right? And two parents, what we calling it. But there are circumstances that is not possible in everybody's life. But
No,
it is possible to have a male and a female be able to help raise a child. You know, the circumstances might not be pleasant like a marriage look. That's what you're basically referring it to.
there you go.
But
That's
it is a marriage look that you're referring to.
yes. I
But
say
there
yeah.
are many people in the world that did not have two parents based on, let's say, one of the parents died at a young age, at that child's age, or childbirth, or something like that. You know, there are situations in life that takes away what we call the beautiful, family union. You know, that's what is sometimes it still works. You know, it could, yes, we could say it's definitely a good thing to have really, mindful parents that know how to raise the child right. But that's what you need to say. Don't sit up here and say you need a husband and a wife. You need both parents in the house, because both of them can be idiots, and both of them can be sitting up here, really corrupting the child's mind and doing things that's not right for the child. So it's all about, who is really in that child's life and how that child is being raised.
T, you just validated what I'm saying. See, you got listen. You what I'm saying to you is this:
But it could
when
be an
you have
uncle, it could
no,
be a grandpa,
you have
it
two
could be a
parents.
grandma, it could be anybody. It could be a woman and a man that are not the parents, but they take that child as they are the parents. That's my
Okay,
point. That's
all
my
right.
point.
So look, that's why there are certain things that's supposed to be together versus not. Can you're saying it can work? Yeah, it can work. T. Listen, a peanut butter and jelly goes together. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go together, right? Because you could put the peanut butter on and jelly the way you want to, but guess what? It's a combination that makes it work. It's a
Well, what's your
combination.
opinion about it? Uh,
Nah, what you mean? My opinion? It's
It's
you ain't
not.
gonna put.
Hold on. People, not a lot, everybody like peanut butter and jelly combination, dude. Like, don't sit
It.
up there and think that
See,
that's like
I'm
the
not talking
only.
about you gotta
Right,
like it.
okay,
I'm just
okay.
saying,
You're not talking
I'm
about it, but
no, it's a
you understand
combination.
it,
Look,
right?
no, it's a combination. It goes together. It works hand in hand. That's what I'm saying. See, hand
Okay,
in hand. That's what it's meant to do. So guess what? That's what's when you have something that's supposed to be together, it works hand in hand. That's why I use peanut butter and jelly. It's supposed it. That's what the sandwich is. You put some people put the peanut butter then the jelly, but at the end of the day, it's still peanut butter and jelly. It goes together. It's supposed to go together. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It goes together. You can put it the way you want, but it goes together. And that's what I'm saying about two-parent home versus one-parent home. When you got the right two parents that's doing everything they're supposed to do, guess what? Boom. You have a successful marriage. You have a successful, your children grow up the way they're supposed to grow up. They're gonna have some difficulties, but they're gonna grow up. But that's what I'm saying. Versus a one-parent home. Not saying that every one-parent home has to be wrong, but I'm talking about we was just talking about how God is in the business of making wanting you to do the right thing. And guess what? And I said that because guess what? You have the right to choose who you want. And we go back to free will because that's what we talk about. You could choose the man that you want. Guess what? When you choose the wrong man or the wrong man choose you for the wrong reasons, guess what? There is something that comes with that. That's what I'm talking about. That that's what I'm saying.
that's free will. That's what free will is supposed to
Ex-
be.
Exactly.
Decide.
You got the right. You got it, and listen, God has something for you, right? It that's it. Yes, it's supposed to go together. When you got look, check this out. Here, I here's a prime example for you, T. For me, see, when I say I'm transparent, I'm open, I'm very vulnerable because that's what I do. Here's the thing. I married Esther, right? But this is what I first thing Esther said to me. She said, "Oh, I can't have no more kids. I got two. She got three." I said, "We good." Okay. I don't want no more kids. I I could if it was meant for me. Let's say it was meant for me to have some more children. Guess what? Then Esther wouldn't have been a woman for me. But God allowed. God said, "Okay, this is what you guys wanted. It's your choice." Guess what? We guys are getting married. We got married. I don't have the desire. I don't want no more children. Guess what? Know what I want to do? I want to travel. What we doing? Travel. That's what me and her doing. But see, look. Let's say God has something else for me, right? Things wouldn't be the way they are now. If I wasn't walking in what God had for me, right, it wouldn't be the way it is today. I chose Esther. Esther chose me freely. With no, there was nothing attached. I looked at her. I said, "Okay, she's beautiful. Check. She got a job. Check. She drive. Check. She got her own plate. Check. See, I chose that. I chose, I chose that with no look. There was nothing for me to say. Well, if I choose her, then I can't have more kids. I want more children.
You
No,
didn't talk about nothing like she's a good woman. She's
I mean,
loving.
I
You went
look,
through all the other
I'm,
stuff.
I mean, because I'm not, because every time I go deep, you be like, "Oh, you go in the Bible, you go in the Bible." Girl. I'm like,
No,
okay,
no, you could have been like, you got to learn how to make it where it's not all the Bible, okay?
that's what I'm
Yes,
trying to
you
work.
know.
Because you want it. Because when I go deep on you, you be like this. Yeah, push me off the poke. I don't want to hear that. Yeah. Everyone has their own path. Oh, she said, look, sometimes it takes a few wrongs to find the right.
That's right.
I don't know about that. You don't look. What? Hold up.
You
What's,
know, you know, you
I,
know, you know. I think
you
that
saw that. You saw who that was, right?
yeah, Allison. Yep. And you know what? You agree, but you won't agree right now. You
What you mean?
because how do you not see that? How do you not know that we are having free will in this world? And if you learn from your mistakes, that is like, you're basically, saying, "Hey, I learned my own path from my mistakes." You know that.
But
You
look,
know, as a person, we all go through it.
she said everyone has their own path. We all agree to that. Yes, you have your own path. There is a path that's made out for you, Allison. It's a path made out just for you, and it's up to you to walk through that path that's made for you. You could choose the wrong path. And when you choose the wrong path, guess what? There are obstacles that you're gonna have to cross.
But that's the thing. We as people, we don't really know if we're choosing the wrong path. Only God knows. That was my point about God and the whole yes and no on if we have free will. We are going to make a decision based on what we think is right for us as people. And that's what we do. And
Wait,
when we find out that it wasn't really the right decision, sometimes we'll go back and try and change it up and do something a little bit different to see if it comes
I,
out to be something else. The outcome be different.
so
But
so
but God will know, is the only one to know that, she shouldn't do that. That she really shouldn't,
whoa.
but she can because she has free will. But
But
she
watch
should.
this. Okay, T, I got one for you. Okay, so you saying yes and no, right? All right. So doesn't God tell you or send someone to you might say, look, you shouldn't do that, and you
Nope.
say,
Nope.
no
Not
what?
all the time. Nope, indeed. No, indeed.
Can you give me an example where that someone has no they don't know nothing and no one ever told them you should not do this. Can you give me an example, please? Because
I
I
can't give
want
you
to.
an example, but I'm
Why
going to give
not? But
because
you
I
said
can't.
no. You
Because I
huh?
can't. Because I can't. Because everybody does not hear the voice of God. Number one.
Okay. If it's
Okay.
not the voice of God,
And even if it's a person, they could look at the person and think that the person is not qualified to make a judgment on their life. So, and they'll dismiss that person And there are a lot of people that don't even have nobody to say anything to them
So
about
can
this.
you get you
Because
making a
many
statement? I'm
people,
giving us an example,
let me
please.
say this, because
Yeah.
I've done this plenty of times. I've made choices and I don't tell people nothing. I won't tell you a thing about what I'm going to do. I don't tell my left hand and my right hand what I'm going to do. Okay. I basically don't tell nobody. So because I don't need opinions about other people's perspectives. So I know there's a lot of people out there that have never had anybody tell them you should do this or that because they don't express themselves to anybody about it. That is a perfect example of somebody not being told what they should or shouldn't do, or have somebody come into
All right,
their
so
life and tell them.
all right, so give us an example. Just give us the viewers an example, because I want to know.
I just did.
Yeah, come on.
I
What?
just did. I just did. I
What?
just told you. I make a decision and I don't tell anybody. If I've made a decision on something, I won't tell nobody because I don't want other people's perspective or opinion about it. So if I'm not telling nobody, therefore nobody's going to know what I'm going to do. So nobody's
So
going to be telling
so
me what
so no. So in other words, you don't want confirmation of your decision that
No,
you're
it's
about to
not
make.
confirmation. It's
Well,
because
well,
look at it like this. You are not to tell your business all the time. If you do, you are foolishly letting the world know, and the enemy will come and creep up and take it, whatever it is that you spilled out about your life. That is what the enemy loves. Say it out your mouth. Go ahead and say what you want to do out your mouth and tell somebody, because the enemy is going to come and grab it from you. That's what happens. Kill, steal, and destroy. So you need to learn how to just not say nothing sometimes. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but just sometimes. And just be like, you know what? Let it stay inside of me. And nobody else knows. So who is telling you you shouldn't do it? Because only you know. Only you and your spirit know. That's my point.
all right, but so in other words, you telling me when you make a decision, you don't know the right from wrong.
No,
You don't
honey,
know.
I know the right from wrong, but I don't
Oh, but how do you know right from wrong?
tell nobody. You the one that said if somebody comes into your life and they tell you, and I said I don't tell nobody. That's what I'm saying. You earlier you said if somebody you tell somebody and they tell you not to do it, no, I won't tell nobody. I do
Okay,
that all
so
the time.
all right, so what I want to know is what decision have you made and you told no one and they wasn't able to advise you or anything. You just did it.
My life. My
Huh?
every just about all about my life, my business in life, my personal life. I don't talk to nobody. You ask my family. If I give you something, it's because I'm with somebody or I'm going somewhere. But most of the time, I do not talk about my life to people. You know why? Because I have done everything I wanted to do, and without anybody else's opinion, because it's been successful. Now, there is one area in my life when it comes to men, it's not successful. I have no patience for that. so,
Okay.
so I'm gonna
So
keep that real. I said it, you know. But when it comes to my business, when it comes to my life, when it comes to my own decision, my body, when it comes to the choices I make, and with people, I don't tell nobody. Like everything, I don't tell nobody. Now, I'll tell a little bit of my little dreams, but I won't tell you when I've done it. I'm going to surprise you. I like letting people be surprised, and I like it when they underestimate me because they think I don't know anything. Because I don't talk. You when you talk too much, you get things crumbled up.
but you have look, so you have a lot of knowledge. So you supposed to tell people about
No,
get them not,
no,
huh? How you supposed to
no.
drop knowledge on some of these young women,
Chef,
huh?
chef,
Oh, what you
you're not here to always be a teacher of life. I'm not here to be a teacher of life. No, I'm here to just, be a good example. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what Jesus said. Being a good example, show yourself. I am showing myself by the way I carry myself, the way I do my life, the way I have my business. When I say business, I'm talking about my home. I'm talking about my career. I'm talking about everything when it comes to my life. So when I say business, that's what I'm referring to. All about my business is basically me. I
oh,
don't I don't need a second opinion from somebody else not walking in these shoes of mine and walking in my body.
so it's free.
Lord have mercy. Mm. I don't know where you be going sometimes. I don't know
So
what is free. What
so
is
it's
it?
free. Your choice is not to talk to somebody. It's free. You
You're right.
don't.
It's free. It's free.
Oh, there we go. Now we talking. It's
It's
free.
free for me not to say a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't. Oh, but that's your choice. You choose that, right?
I love it. It's always worked for me. It's a beautiful thing.
So now, so we go back to the topic is free. It's your choice.
Yes, it's my
Free
choice.
will. There's no look. Has there been any consequences for you not telling anybody? No,
Nope.
right? Oh
Because I'm
wow.
not supposed to.
So
I'm not.
so what? Wow. It's free. It's free will. You choose.
Nope.
There you go. All right, there you go. All right, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's some. See, now you getting it. Now you
We went
understand.
with you. We went with you. I will always go with you, no matter what, honey. No matter how you put it out there, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah,
Even
now-
when I'll be like,
oh yeah, it's going. Now you got it. Now
I'm
there
gonna
we
be
go.
with
Got
you. I'm a
everybody
home.
give a hey, look. Everybody give a hand. Everybody give a hand. Throw them hands up, y'all. She got it. Yeah. I was on. Look, I was on the stage with some other guys, and they was talking about free will, and I said, "Yo, bro, yeah." And they was not like me and you. They was white. They was like, "Oh yeah." They try to play on my wording. I said, "Listen, no, you got free will, buddy. You can do what you want to do. If you want to go out there and do something, and you know it's wrong, guess what? Go ahead. It's a consequence. You still can do it. You still can do it. That's your choice,
It's
huh?
it might not be a consequence. It's a
No,
cost.
I told him it's a consequence because guess what? You know you ain't supposed to go. I told him this is exactly what I said to him. You ain't supposed to go and rob no bank. You go and rob a bank. Guess what? You could do it. Go get you some guns. Go rob a bank. But guess what? When you do it, two things can happen. One, you could get away. That's one, right? You got to run for the rest of your life. Okay, change your identity. You got to do all that, right? Two, you could get caught, go to prison, or three, you could get caught and get killed. So which one you want to do? You know what I
Okay,
mean? That's your
Chef,
choice.
let me say this. Let me say this. Think about
Yeah.
this. You do have a lot of examples of negative, things that happen. I mean, I know, I get you, I do, but you always have an example of a negative. But can you pull out an example that is not so extreme and negative about robbing, killing, stealing, and destroying somebody, but coming to a way of communicating that it has nothing to do with that, right? None of that happens, and look at it differently. Do you think that's possible? Because you go to the far extreme, is my point.
Because when you in peace, you in happiness. When you in peace, you in joy. When you look, everything when you in a calm space, guess what? Everything is at peace. Everything is calm. So you don't everything comes smooth. Everything is like I said, smooth. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's no like there's nothing to there's no worries. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's no worries. So when you look when you on a smooth plane, smooth ride, it's everything is
But in the
smooth.
middle, let's say in the middle, when you're not real smooth, you kind of rocky. There are things that happen in life, but it's not the extreme of killing, stealing, or destroying somebody. It's not like that. It's just you're having a bad day at work, and you got to deal with somebody that you really don't want to deal with. Come closer to that, because we're not killers and stealers and destroyers over here when we be listening, are we? Because you be going to the extreme with it.
So if you say, look, like I said, listen, you out somewhere, you get into an argument with somebody, right? Real heated argument. You get so mad, you put your hands in that person. Uh-oh.
Oh Lord, there it is. That's another one. Putting hands on, like, why we
Listen to
gotta
what I said though, because guess what? I said putting hands because listen to what I said. I said you get into an argument, right? And the argument gets heated and someone puts their hand on you. How do you respond to that? That's based on that's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of humble. You got to be listen. For me, guess what? I'm not getting to no arguments where I can know it could turn to violence. I'm out of there. I'm like, man, whatever. I'm out of here.
Okay. And let me say it like this. I don't talk like that. I don't ever talk about anybody putting their hands on me, right? I don't say that. I don't think about it. I don't have no thought about it. Like I'm going out to a club and I'm worried about somebody putting their hands. I don't think like that. So maybe because I don't think like that, I'm looking at it like maybe, we're just different because I don't think like that at all. Have not had that situation. I'm protected. That's how I feel. I'm not worried about it. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but T, that's not true. You listen,
What's
you
not?
listen. Look, that's for everybody. I could now. Some people say no, you can't speak for me. No, I can speak for everybody. Everybody had triggers. Everybody has something that can get you from
No,
0 to 1,000.
not
I
everybody.
T,
You
listen, you
cannot
got
speak for everybody.
guess what? Because T, I promise you, you don't walk. You, I know you, and I,
What?
I'm not. You don't walk. You already told us the audience about this. You don't get up in the morning and be like, "Hey, good morning, guys." You don't. That's not you. But
Okay.
guess what? I promise you, when you get up in the morning and you go to work and you're not doing that and you're not feeling well, and somebody tick you off, you're gonna be like, "Yo, listen, I don't feel like being bothered. Can you
No,
leave me
that's
alone?"
big.
T, oh
See,
my
that's what I'm saying. Like
Jesus.
you and your stories are really you're creative. I'm gonna
You
give you that.
already told her. You already
Creative.
told
No, but I do not come off where I'm like, I'm not having a good morning. You need to leave me alone.
Hey,
I don't do that.
T,
I'm
you
like,
lied.
I will
I'm
say
gonna
good
say, T, you
morning.
say you told us earlier in the video. You told us earlier, right? You said you'd be like somebody be saying good morning to you. You really don't want to speak. You go just like this.
No, I didn't. I said I smile. Or I will say good morning.
I'm gonna have to go back to the video. Yo,
You
you be like this.
need to
You
go
give
back.
him look. You give him this. You give him this. You be like
No, that was what
fake
y'all
that
said
fake
about
smile.
me. Because
Yeah,
I
you
said if
do.
I
You
pass somebody, I said if I pass you or if I walk in the room and I'm not trying to open up my mouth, I will smile. That's what I said because I don't like
yeah
saying good
you
morning.
get.
But I have said
Would
hello. I have said
yeah.
hi, but I don't say good morning because the morning part I don't like. Okay, and if somebody, but I have said good morning to people just because they like that word. Y'all like that word? Go ahead. I'm gonna give it to you. Good morning. Good morning. But I don't give attitude. That's not me. That's
So
not
so
me.
when they so when you didn't have your coffee and you were
Oh my
like,
goodness. I get this picture you're painting of me is awful. I mean, it's
no,
terrible. You are
you don't do
brilliant
that, T.
picture. You know,
You
I
don't
was
you don't
talking
do
to one of my cousins about this morning thing, right? And I need to ask him if he remember which episode it was that we were talking about that because we need to go back and you need to listen to it because I know I did not say anything about me coming off nasty and rude. That's not my style. I don't do that. That's not me. Thank you, Allison. You right.
hold on,
I'm definitely not that
hold
one.
on. Let me see. And be super friendly every day. Nah, no. Listen, you in the house. That's something. I'm talking about when you going out in the world. I'm not talking about when you in the house with the family because sometimes your wife, your girlfriend, your kids just get on your nerves. You be like, look, go in your room. Just go in there and brush your teeth. Yeah, leave me alone right now. See, all right, that's. I'm talking when you walk out in the world. But T, you
I know what you're saying. And
listen.
I
I know
said
you.
it.
I know you can't be like me.
I don't want to be like
You be like,
you.
morning.
You
Oh,
don't
you
even
might be
know
like,
that.
hello.
I have
No.
I have a smile look and they see it.
I know.
And I have a glow about me. When I walk in the room, they see it. You ain't gonna try and steal my joy. I ain't gonna let you. I'm gonna grab it back, boo.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. They ain't gonna steal your joy. Yeah. They not
No,
trying to
I'm
do
talking
all
about
that. We know
you.
that.
Try to
We
put
know.
me down as that.
My, I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying I know you. I know you ain't gonna be walking in the room saying, good morning, guys. Well, hello, how you everybody doing? No, you come in there just
Well,
real
depending
moderate.
on the circumstances, yes, I will. If I
You
am
might
instructing, if I'm in charge of something, yes, I am all
this
ears
is
when it's all about me talking. I'm like, good
this is
morning. Because they all are good morning people. I'm gonna good morning.
Woody. What's up, brother? Wood, do you got free will? Yeah, you woke up this morning. Woke you up this morning. Started on my way. Hey, that's free will. You woke up this morning. You woke up. Oh, God woke you up.
That's free will. When you wake up, is free will. Well, I tell you, no, where's God in this? Where's God, honey? Where is God? You just said that again. We got free will when we wake up this morning.
That's mercy. That's grace.
Oh, okay. So God woke us up. So we're gonna say that. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's mercy. That's grace. Because I could promise you this: you wake up, you better be thankful. because we ain't all living perfect lives.
Nobody is.
Word. And I could promise, that's why I said that's mercy, that's grace, because guess what? We ain't all living perfect lives. Man, please. Man. Uh-oh. Where's God? Yeah. God is definitely waking you up in the morning. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Watch this. Here we go. We got some comments. I'm gonna put them up on the screen. Let's see what they said.
Yeah. That's free will.
It's free will. See? Power of acting without constraints, right? That means, look, God said, oh, you can do whatever you want to do. Hey. That's it.
Yeah.
You do what you oh, that's what you want to do? Okay, do it. Oh, somebody got something to say for Lady T.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, suck. You see that?
For recognizing my aura. Thank you. Thank you. You prayed. That's right.
He woke him up. That's it. That's it.
Free will to pray.
Because guess
right?
what? Yeah, some people don't want to pray. They don't care. Yeah. They don't care about nothing about praying. But guess what? At the end of the day, we talk about, guys, we talk about free will. That's what we talking about. Hey, you drop a comment, and if you don't think you got free will, can you let us know? We would love to hear what your thoughts are, because
look, we all have me, because think about the free will. Think about when I say, because I know if y'all heard me when I said this, that how do we know what we're going to experience, right? So, and God already knows what we're going to experience. So is that really free will? That's what I want to know. That is the question that I want to put on everybody's mind, because we all know and we've heard that there's a God that knows when we're going to die, what we're going to do the next minute, in the next hour, and next week, what we're going to go through. And even when we think we're making our own choices, God knows the choice that we're going to make, because that's what we were told. So do we truly have free will, or do we not believe in God? Which one is it? That's all I want to know, because I know free will, there is a limit to a free will. You know what I mean? Because I think God will interrupt you and tell you to go on a different path. And even when you thought you wanted to go on one path, you choose the other one and say, okay, I'm going to listen to that higher power that's speaking to my soul and my spirit.
But T, we say this, you said that before, but now you got to think about this. Look, you choose your own path. But there's a path that's made out for you. That's the key. So you choose.
Is it, if a path is already made out for you, is it free will?
Of course.
Think about it. No. Think about it. Think about what we're saying. You're saying the path is made out for you. Okay. Yeah. You already know that path, not that path on the right or the left, but the one right here in the middle, right? You say, that is my path, right? It's made out for you. You didn't choose it. You didn't choose it because that was already made out for you.
Why you didn't choose it, T?
What's made then? It was created, right? Let's say it was created for you. Like, there are people that come on this earth. We all come on this earth for a reason, a purpose, right? So what we go through in life, we are created to do a certain thing. So why would we think that we have full free will to do whatever we want? That's my point.
All right, so T, we gonna stay. Let's just say a teacher, okay? Every human being can be a teacher, right? But there are steps to becoming a teacher. Do you have the patience to be a teacher? You understand? So here that we talk about free will. Everybody can decide to be a teacher, right? So that's free. You could do that if you want. If that's what you want to do. But guess what? That path is not made for you. That's what I'm talking about. You ain't not made to be a teacher.
So is it free will?
You're not made, right? It's free will. You could choose whatever you want, but there is a path that's made out for you. and it's up to you to choose the path that's made out for you. You got to. So to get to that path, you have to do the necessary things to get to that path. It's not, it's laid for you. Yes, the foundation is laid for you, but you have to do the work to get to that path. You have to find out what it is that you're supposed to do in this life. And when you find it and you say, see, like me, I know, like me, a little bit like me, I know I'm not meant to be a pastor, a minister. Yeah, I'm not a pastor. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. I'm not ready for that. If even if that was I wouldn't be ready for that. I'm not prepared for that. I don't do the studying like I'm supposed to do. Like they got to be in the books all the time. Like da-da-da-da. Like when I was in culinary, I had to do the work. If I wanted to be a successful chef, guess what? I had to do the work. Nobody was going to give it to me. I had to pay. I had to do the work. I had to work a full-time job and go to school. Guess what? I had to do the work. So if I didn't do the work, guess what? I wouldn't be successful.
But let's say desire, like you use the word desire. Do you desire it?
And guess what? And because I desire and I want it, and I have a passion for it, it's smooth. It's smooth for me. It was a smooth transition because not because of all the money that I make. No, it wasn't about that. But it was a smooth transition. I said, yeah, let me grind. And I had a passion for, and I had a want to learn more and more and more. Right. So yeah, it was smooth.
But God knew what you were going to do. He knew your desires.
And guess what? And it was so simple because why it was so simple, someone said, yo, you like to cook, why you don't go to culinary school? I was already in the field. But see, guess what? I could be like, nah, I'm already doing it. Right? I was motivated to go to culinary school, and look what it did for me. It elevated my career. I was already like 11 years in cooking, different places. I was already there, but guess what? When I went to culinary school, it elevated. It put me in a different bracket. So, guess what? I could have been like, "Nah, I'm good. I had a good job," but I said, you know what? Let me take that advice. I took that advice, and guess what? I walked into something else. But at the end of the day, it was my choice. And me choosing the right choice, guess what? It turned out to be great.
And you might be a pastor one day.
Nah, I can tell you that. No, I'm not.
Because you don't desire it.
No, I'm a minister, not a pastor.
Well, honestly, I mean, think about it. Think of what I just said. Do you desire to be a pastor? Yes or no?
No.
Okay,
no.
there it is. You just said it. Thank you.
Because that's my. But guess what? That's my choice. I don't have a passion for that. I don't desire that.
That's right.
That's not what I want.
You at least said that because that's not your choice. That's why you say it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen because guess what? What I'm doing right now is what I'm called to do. You know, I touch a lot of people. I encourage a lot of people, and I have a lot. And I'm just being able to talk to people on different levels, whether they're white, black, Chinese. It doesn't make a difference. You know, it's being able to talk to them and making sure that they understand where I'm coming from, how I'm speaking it, my delivery. You know, I speak a place of peace. I speak a place of love, happiness. You know what I'm saying? So that's key. Yeah. Oh man, you been out there that long?
Yeah, I tried to do it again to see because water is not coming out.
All right. But you know, I was talking to the wife. So we still here on vacation, man. We doing it real good, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But yeah, so you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's like I said to people, you know, you choose. You know what I mean? And we talk about choice. Our choice making sometimes is poor. We choose. We make poor choices. You know that, and that's what the big thing is. Even if you're in a situation, even if you in, you know, a bad relationship, good relationship, you know, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can have the ability to, you know, make it better or try to. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can turn out to be good. Sometimes it can turn out to be bad. It all depends on the person.
I agree.
You know, right. So you start. Oh, you starting to calm down now. Okay.
Calm
All right.
down.
No, that's real.
Oh my Lord. What? I'll be too much, huh?
Gotta get you. Gotta. Not for me. I'm good. I just want to make
Am
sure.
I too much?
Now I guess I think
You
you understand it now, but a little better.
No.
Yeah, I think you.
No, I accept what you say because I'm not gonna keep arguing. I'm not gonna keep trying. I'm gonna just basically.
It's not. It's like, listen,
Because
it ain't even about.
acknowledge that part. You have not acknowledged the part about God knowing all, how we really don't know the next minutes are going to be. Our free will is free, but there's going to be things in our life that God will bring in our life that will not be what we wanted it to be. And we will have to make another choice of free will again. But that's what I mean. Like God knows everything. So that's why I say you have to put that in the perspective of our free will.
T, God is in the business of making you better or wanting you to be better, right? Right. That's you know that to be true, right? He wants you to be better.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not willing to accept some of the things that God wants you to do, you'll never. Huh?
That's not what it. You're basically saying if you don't do this or you don't do that. If you're always having that stipulation, there's a stipulation when you talk about what God is going to do and not do for you. But at the
listen
point,
listen to what I said. Let me say this slow for you to understand. I said, because obviously you didn't understand me.
No.
I said, God is in the business of wanting you to be better, right?
Right.
Okay. So if he's in the business of making you better, there are things that he presents to you so you can be better. He presents it to you so you can be better. But then in the process of you becoming a better person or better wife, girlfriend, whatever, sister, brother, you have to be open-minded to see that and say, you know what? This is something that I need to make a change in.
See, you totally changed that whole conversation, but this time was acceptable. So congratulations. You did it. That was a good one. That was totally different from the first one.
Because I had to, because you were like, no. See, so I had to let me rechange that up because you talking about no. Yeah, see, there you go. So that's how I go. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people listen, they might get offended. They might be like, I don't agree with that. It's not even about agreeing, but just if you could take a moment, right, and just look at your circumstance and your situation. Can it be better? And if it can be better, right? How do you work at it? How do you change the circumstance? Right? T? How do you change it?
Or you want me to answer?
I'm saying how no, I mean you can answer if there was I'm talking just like the people that's watching, the people that's listening. Just think about that. It's like your circumstance is it the best? And if it's not the best, can it change? How do you change that? Just think about that. How do you change it? For the better, not for the worse, for the better. Because that's all we're about. We're about making things better, trying to incorporate something that's going to be positive to you in your life.
I say the answer is prayer and asking for what you would like in your life.
But what if they don't have a relationship with God?
I have people that, I always explain, you already know that you have to think in your mind a certain way, right? We're going to talk like we're not talking about God, right? You have to think a certain way if you want to succeed in life. And if you think the right way, and that's very broad, I know when I say the right way, but when you think the right way or you're persistent in whatever it is that you want and you're doing what you should do every day to get what you want, you will eventually have it. And that is like what I say about prayer. You ask and you receive. But there is, faith without works is dead. So you have to do a work in it. So there's a mental process. If your mind is not right, if you are fearful, if you are worrying, if you are scared, like if you are doing everything that's not of God, which is the bright light that has no fear and no concern and worry and things like that, then you're going to go into that direction that you want to have. But if you are worried, if you are fearful, if you is concerned so much and just, oh Lord, I don't know how I'm going to do it, then no, you're probably going to struggle, because God is not a fear.
So well put. So well put. Yeah, man. So listen, man. Look, it definitely was a lovely week. The family reunion was excellent. Listen, man, I can't wait, guys. We got some real good content coming up in September. Me and Lady T will be doing in-person interviews. Listen, we're gonna be doing it in Jersey, DC, Baltimore. We're moving up. We're gonna move around. We have to do a little traveling, visiting. I'm trying to set up some spots where we're gonna be able to visit other people's podcasts that will be spiritual based. But listen, Lady T, it's gonna be exciting because you know what? Lady T always got the answer. No, when I say got the answer, like going against the grain, and she like, listen, I don't believe that, but listen, this is what she wants. She wants more biblical things and wants to indulge in, not in a negative way. I'm saying, like, when we talk about that, you want to really get to the meat of things. I got some people coming up. I'm like I said, I'm talking to them back and forth. I think the biggest audience would be in Texas. We have to travel out there. I'm working on that because it's a lot of podcasters out there in Texas. That's something that we would like to do, and I think it's gonna be exciting. We had a great time this weekend, guys. It was lovely, and listen, I'm gonna end this session. It's about, let's see what time it is. 8:00. You know what time it is. Listen, guys, we will see you on Wednesday. It was lovely. It's always a pleasure, Lady T.
Always a pleasure.
We out of here. I'll talk to you Wednesday. Be blessed. Peace.
Bye.
All right.